Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Speak the Truth podcast. We've got a live feed coming at you guys over from the Minnesota ice facility as we give you guys the daily recap. I got told that it's getting pretty crazy out there. Well, I went over and took a look to see what was actually going on, and it doesn't look too crazy just yet. But just because it's not popping off right now doesn't mean it's not going to be. There's federal agents that are stacked up over at the gate, ready to go over and pounce on everybody. Jacob Frey and Tim Walz look like they might have bitten off more than they could chew. Ilyan Omar, somebody that is very close with her, appears to have been partaking in the riots last night after the federal agents, a federal agent was chasing down a suspect, got beaten by some random illegal aliens. By the way, all the ones over in Minnesota that ended up beating the federal agent last night were illegal aliens, allegedly. We're all illegal aliens, including the one that ended up getting shot. And no, they didn't speak English, and apparently they're all from Venezuela. So that's good to know, right? So more Venezuelans causing more problems over here on American soil. But again, what you're looking at right now is a feed that's up there. You guys can see that little slick look, piece of concrete that's down there in front. I want you guys to pay close attention to that because these idiots actually went out there earlier, and I'm going to show you guys when they actually did it, trying to dump water bottles and crap all over the freaking road, trying to cause a big ice slick to try to slow down ice. But I mean, they're just sitting there with bright lights blocking it off. And the issue is that you've got feds that are moving in and out of there every evening and all day long, and you've got morons that are sitting down in the middle of the street blocking the way. So it's kind of reminiscent in my mind very much of Portland, to where when they need to clear the way, they come out and they start pushing people up and out of the way, and they play this game back and forth with these 50 or so morons that are standing out there right now, all because an illegal immigrant decided to get shot last night, and some freaking privileged white lady thought that she would get shot in the face as she tried to run over an ICE officer. Incognito Fairday coming in, gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Thank you very much, sir, along with Fun Bo. All right, let's go over and start getting into some of this, because the police chief over inside Minneapolis, listen to this. This dude actually admits, it blew my mind when I heard this. Blew my freaking mind. He actually admits to what happened last night. Check this out.
My name is Brian O'Hara, BRIANO''HARA. I am the Minneapolis Police Chief. At 6:51 p.m., Minneapolis police received a 911 call reporting a shooting on the 600 block of 24 Avenue North.
You're going to hear that recording here in just a minute, by the way. There's translations.
Preliminary information indicates that there was a struggle with a federal agent in front of the resident. During the struggle, the federal agent discharged his weapon, striking one adult male. The adult male then retreated inside of the residence, where he remained inside and refused to come out. Eventually, federal agents made entry into the residence, and the individual was brought to an ambulance where he has been transported to the hospital. Minneapolis police have secured the crime scene around the location, and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, as well as the FBI, are on the scene processing the evidence. There's a crowd gathered in the area, and we have called for mutual aid from the Minnesota State Patrol and Hennepin County Sheriff. The crowd is engaging in unlawful acts. They have thrown fireworks at police officers, and at multiple times, gas has been deployed. Police are attempting to disperse this unlawful assembly at this time.
Oh, that's really nice of him. So not only does he admit that the dudes last night were, in the wrong and they got shot outside the house, which is very, very important, because I'll play for you guys the 911 call. So he admits that the guy gets shot outside the house, and then we got retards that are leaking the 911 call, trying to pretend like he got shot through the door or some other, it's insanity to me, the stuff that ends up coming out. 80% of you guys so far that have came in the poll think that Mercado is going to go to jail, and I tend to agree with those people that have voted yes. But either way, if you'd like to stick it up there, and we'll show you if you are unaware of what ended up happening last night, what ended up transpired, don't worry about it, because you're about to be caught up to par really, 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 really super quick. Because this incident right here, after that individual actually ended up getting shot, they broke into the back of several law enforcement vehicles and ripped AR-15s out of them, presumably inside of the gun case. And I pointed out in this morning stream, this guy on the video with the big tattoo on his face, well, he has been arrested. Everybody rest assured there. And we were right. That tattoo on his face absolutely pointed that he was a member of the Latin Kings. Check this out. If you guys haven't seen it yet, be excited. Oh, my bad. My bad. They already broke in.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. And then they continue to rifle through all this stuff, take all of his crap out of there and everything else. And I pointed out this morning on the video, like when I saw it, I was like, face tattoos. I don't like people with face tattoos. Like it's kind of obvious right there. I pointed out like the 5 points on top, and I was like, I don't know, might be a gang tattoo, might just possibly be a gang tattoo. I'm not going to sit here and damn this man to be in a particular gang. I'm not that familiar with them, but I do know what they kind of look like. So just maybe it's a gang tattoo. And he happened to get caught on a live stream doing it. Imagine that. Gentleman gets caught on a live stream stealing a rifle with a freaking gang tattoo on his face. And wouldn't you know it, apparently when you steal guns out of the back seat of a freaking car, people move really, 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 really fast, and they end up identifying you, and you end up getting arrested. It was confirmed that this guy got arrested not too long ago, and this is his booking number and all of his other crap, and there you can see it up there. And yes, people are coming out stating that he is a member of the Latin Kings, named Raul Gutierrez. Imagine that. Let's see here. Why are you promoting chaos without solutions? I am promoting solutions, sir. As a matter of fact, I promoted Trump. And no, you know what, man, I'm glad you asked that question, because I am promoting solutions. I am, believe it or not, I am promoting solutions. This one right here. This is the solution, which is called obey the law. And clearly some people don't want to obey the law, Thiz Marley. And this is the solution for the people that don't want to obey the law. It is called the Insurrection Act. I actually went over the legislation for it earlier and the actual legal stuff that goes into it. And 1000%, you're going to hear from attorney Mike Davis here in a little bit. It 1000% fits the Insurrection Act. Like, Trump has the authority in order to do this. So my opinion, my proposal for actually getting peace on the street is to be able to take over this radical frickin' city. And you know why I say that? Because what are the odds that an ICE agent that's chasing a vehicle down the frickin' street, that's running away from him, ends up crashing his car out, taking off, engaging in a foot pursuit, gets in a fist fight with the officers, struggling to get the guy detained, and then two other illegal aliens come running out of a random house and beat the officer over the head with a shovel and a frickin' broomstick, to the point that the officer, they are calling it quite literally, they tried to kill the guy. Still haven't heard about his injuries yet. And then the suspect that was originally in the chase ends up getting a hold of one of those weapons and continuing to beat the officer until he gets shot, and then he runs into the freaking house and pretends like nothing's freaking going on. And speaking of which, while I was at it, I did say that I was going to go over that stuff with you guys. So I think I should come up here and play this call for you. I think you guys should hear about it, because it's absolutely ridiculous. You want to hear it?
En la pierna. En la pierna. Por favor, ayúdenos, tenemos hijos.
Tenemos unos niños pequeños aquí en la casa. Y si disparan.
Asómalo así, nada más por fuera. Los de Lai, son los de Lai.
Miguel, quítate de ahí.
¿Qué personas le dispararon? ¿Quiénes le dispararon?
La de Lai venía persiguiendo a mi marido hace como media hora, lo estaban tratando de chocar. Y
They were chasing him, and they tried to crash into him. And after he arrived at the house, and when we closed the door on them, they shot him. They shot him because we closed the door on him. Turns out that's not true. And for the love of God, even when the Minneapolis police chief's coming out with it and says it's not true, it's probably not true. And yet radical leftists are out there running on it all frickin' day long. Hefe Meunier, I don't even know if I pronounced that right. I just wanted to make you sound a little bit French and Spanish at the same time, says it's time for the Insurrection Act. It's only going to escalate. You're dang right, it's only going to escalate. They escalated it further today. Brett says you need to forward all this information you have on Mercado over to the Legal Mindset. I promise you they don't have it. Mary Dean says Cam was just followed to his car again tonight, just now at the Whipple building. Thanks, Matt, for you and the Nair Gang and for all that you do. Hey, I appreciate you. I really, really do. So yeah, I present the actual way for this to go away, which is the Insurrection Act, and to follow the law. It's very simple. If people literally follow the laws that our legislators have passed, the executive branch has signed into law, and the federal agents have enforced, that the Supreme Court has also looked over numerous times and said, yep, that stuff's legal. They get to do that. If they would simply follow the freaking law, maybe they wouldn't be getting shot. Maybe instead of illegal aliens, here's another one for you. You want another one? If you don't like illegal aliens getting shot, they ought to take the government up on the opportunity to self-deport so that maybe, just maybe, they can come back in. And maybe all of the radical leftists that are out on the street right now trying to box in ICE agents ought to go home. Just a thought. Maybe reach out to their legislators, try to get the laws changed. That to me seems like a pretty peaceful solution, but seeing how none of them are going to do that, call in the frickin' military. Bring in federal troops and restore law and order. That's what you do. You don't bargain with terrorists. You don't friggin' sit there and try to negotiate with them. You don't say, well, maybe we'll only enforce this law today and maybe we'll only enforce that law tomorrow. No. You arrest those idiots that are breaking the law while you're at it. BRD Hef, 1971. Followed Mercado at the beginning of the Ukraine stuff. Realized he was hard left while watching Rob and Enforcer. Yeah, no kidding, man. Like, I'm surprised. Like, it shouldn't have really taken that long. I mean, that dude he's freaking out there, man. And for those of you guys that don't know what he did, and just to bring it up, by the way, this was the scene of the street following the shooting last night. They completely rioted it, took it over, did all that stuff, broke into, I think it was 3 total law enforcement vehicles that I heard of, got a hold of a bunch of paperwork, doxed a bunch of like federal agents and stuff on the different feeds. And if you're asking what retard did that and why, I actually have that vote up in the chat. This is why.
Oh, what do you got?
I have paperwork.
Oh boy, what do you got?
I have paperwork from these vehicles with full FBI, first, last names, phone numbers, emails, addresses.
Oh wow.
It has how they it has where they take.
Hold it open. Yeah, I'm contributing. So this is the. Okay.
Just the flashlight person.
Oh wow. Oh wow. There's their number. Their call sign 920 Op Center. Let me go like this.
Tell me when to.
Okay, go ahead, flip it.
Tell me when.
Okay, POC. Oh my God. Yeah, they got the whole thing. This is the main.
I told you. These were the vehicles.
Yeah,
These were the vehicles that were here for the shooting. Too many protesters came up. They couldn't move their vehicles. They fled on foot. These are the officers involved. They left all of this behind. This is where they take the transports of their immigration targets. They're calling people targets now.
There's more.
They're calling them targets?
This is transport of immigration
I see it at the top.
targets. This is where they take them.
Screenshot everything, chat. Screenshot this. You got to screenshot it.
Screenshot this stuff, chat. Screenshot it.
All right, you can go ahead, flip.
This is maps to where they're staying or they're taking people. Again, full names, emails, phone numbers.
Just going to tell people to screenshot stuff and then dox them on the stream. That's why, ladies and gentlemen, that's why. On top of the like thousands of other laws that retard is broken, and thousands is a bit of a freaking stretch there, but still, thousands of laws. And you wonder why these morons think it's okay to do stuff like that. Maybe because you've got a freaking radical mayor that goes over and says things like this.
We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have 2 governmental entities that are literally fighting one another. Why are we put in this position? We're put in this position because we have approximately 600 police officers in Minneapolis, far fewer that are able to work at any given time. And there are approximately 3,000 ICE agents in the area.
Oh, that's my bad. Here, listen to the beginning.
And we're in a position right now where we have residents that are asking the very limited number of police officers that we have to fight ICE agents on the street, to stand by their neighbors. We cannot be at a place right now in America where we have 2 governmental entities.
He's telling them to just attack. Like he tells them, like we've got people that want to fight them, and he doesn't say a damn word about it. He doesn't say a thing about it. He doesn't go, no, don't do that. Don't go assault them. But we've got people that want to see it happen, and it makes you wonder why people are calling for an insurrection. Let me put this up here on your screen right here. This lady standing next to Ilhan Omar was spotted last night over outside of the vehicles. Allegedly spotted standing outside the vehicles. I'm just gonna, sorry I had to let that play through twice, because I had to type this out over here. I dropped a brand new poll for you guys. Should Trump use the Insurrection Act to stop the madness? So if you would like to see the Insurrection Act, started to stop the madness, I would like you to vote yes. If you don't want to see Trump use the Insurrection Act to stop all the madness, I want you to vote no. And it's really that simple. And what I found this morning when I did it over on X was I had a buttload of people, like 95+%, that ended up coming in and voting yes, and then a bunch of other ones that ended up coming in and voting no. But it was about 5% of you guys. But there was a buttload of people that ended up getting polled. So take it as you will. But I'm very curious where you guys stand tonight. And wouldn't you know, it's holding very, very true. Got about 400 votes in already, and 96% of you guys are saying yeah, as Sky God comes in and blesses the chat with 20 Speak the Truth memberships. Now, I want you all to take a look at this right here. Let me zoom in over here. Last night, during the riot in Minneapolis, a U.S. citizen was arrested for assaulting officers while carrying a firearm. Individual showed up to the protest with a gun and a box of ammo in a bag. Individual threatened violence against law enforcement officers while pointing at his bag. After law enforcement deployed crowd control measures to calm an increasingly volatile crowd, the individual kicked a metal smoke canister at the officers. He then pushed an officer and was arrested for assault. While being arrested, he stated that he had a firearm, which was located along with a box of ammo. He was not carrying his concealed carry permit. This is not the peaceful protesters that the First Amendment protects. You don't say. Yeah, I don't know if you know that or not, but carrying a firearm in the commission of a crime and pointing at it, alleging that you're going to use it, might actually add on this thing called an enhancement charge, and it might not turn out so good for you. You might take a misdemeanor charge, which assaulting an officer is not, and make it even worse. And this is where Tim Walz tends to get his butt into hot water.
Frey, who think that they can, by force, resist these immigration efforts. That is textbook insurrection. That is textbook seditious conspiracy. Those are very serious federal felonies, along with assaults on law enforcement, along with harboring illegal aliens, along with conspiracy. Generally, I would say to Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, you're playing a very deadly game here, and you could end up in federal prison if you do this. In addition, the president can and should invoke the Insurrection Act, which is passed by Congress to allow the president to federalize the Minnesota National Guard to assist federal law enforcement in executing federal immigration laws and to put down this insurrection.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, Mike Davis over there, he's got a little bit of knowledge when it comes to the law field. So now you're not just hearing it from Matt Tardio, you're actually hearing it from a bona fide attorney, letting you guys know, yes, absolutely, that needs to go down. Number one, that Tim Walz and that Jacob Frey need held accountable for their actions, for their statements, for their participation in encouraging people to carry on with this madness. Don Booth says Cam Higbee got ran off by some protesters, came up and asked him about the other night with Nick Sorter and accused him of being Nick. Yeah, they're all stupid, man. I that doesn't surprise me at all. Manuel Rivera. Evening, Matt. Watching since day one of Lunkers for years prior. Appreciate all that you do. My first super chat. I come in time in need of prayer. Much is wrong. I've been to rock bottom and this is deeper. Well, sir, you will get your prayer. Trust me on that. I do keep a prayer list over here. I've gotten actually so many of them that I have been grouping you guys together. But if you are in need of prayer, sir, I do believe in that. I would ask everybody that's in here, which is going to be more powerful than just me giving a prayer for you, to also pray for you as well. And I would encourage you as well, sir, to truly seek those answers and take time for that prayer in silence, as the Bible tells us to do. Because when you do that, that's when God sees you and will hear you and will reward you. So I highly encourage that for you, sir. But yeah, you'll be there. I got you, man. I got you, brother. Viper 5 says, anyone who thinks Matt hasn't given solutions is delusional. Matt has solutions for hours, days before anyone else. Literally just use common sense and you can be like Matt too. Yeah, it's common sense. Let's see here. One of that many poop bags in our military community. Yeah, no, that he is. And I agree with you on that. He is a turd. I've always said this, like just because you're a veteran, it doesn't make you a good person. It doesn't mean that you served honorably either, regardless of how many years you were in. And if you were in for, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and you got out as E5, I might question your service record a little bit. Just saying. James Lewis comes in, gifting I Speak the Truth membership. CR Yetter, the chief is starting to regret his life choices. It shows every time he's on camera. No, he is, man. He is. And as Jacob Frey was like making those statements about people, like you just see him kind of like twitch inside, like, yeah, that's not going to turn out so good, man. Don't do that. Chris Feilbach, Tim Walz, if found guilty, and Diddy should share a jail cell. That'd be freaking great. Or, give him Epstein's cell. I just encouraging possibly Epstein's cell. Vintage Blacklist says, brother, please check your audio. Your gain is up. I heard that this morning as well. Ended up cranking it down. And so I don't know if I've got more bugs or if maybe I'm just shouting into the mic and I need to quiet my butt down a little bit, but I'll do my best to pull my gain down just a tad bit. So just a tad bit, I'll pull it down for you. Lane Jameson says, I'll take one for the team. Your mic is peaking and blowing out. All right. Well, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. It's let me check it on my end now. Let me check it. Hold on. I got to pull it down for you. Lane Jameson says, I'll take one for the team. Your mic is peaking and blowing out. You know what? I don't think we've had a stream yet where you guys haven't complained about audio issues. And before it was like, Matt, you're too quiet. And so then I just gave you guys gain for days. And now it's man, you gotta turn it down, bro. You're blowing our eardrums out. You guys can just never be happy. It's set at -5 decibels. Actually, I take that back. I set it at -7 decibels, and even turned the gain down just a little bit more for you guys. So hopefully that helps out. Sky God coming in and gifting out an additional 20 Speak the Truth memberships. It looks like, or maybe not. Maybe I got that one wrong. I don't know. I'm just crazy over here. Apparently I'm just losing my dang mind. Man, it was Doug Phil I saw coming in gifting out a membership. So let's turn around. Let's get the show back on the road. And let's bring up the next best thing, which I know you guys are worried about because you don't see arrests all that often. You got to understand, like, there's so many retards out there running around Minneapolis, and there's so many cops. It's going to take them a while to get to them. But Tom Homan came out and gave some very good words of encouragement for anybody that thinks that they might have got off because they didn't get arrested. I don't know, the same day that these crimes were committed and possibly broadcasted.
This job and these people who want to say follow ICE, and film ICE, you know what? You can protest. They have that right. But when you cross that line, and we've proven it, if you interfere or impede or assault an ICE officer, you will be prosecuted. And one thing I'm pushing for right now, Laura, we're going to create a database where those people that are arrested for interference, impediment, assault, we're going to make them famous. We're going to put their face on TV. We're going to let their employers in their neighborhoods, in their schools, know who these people are. Because as you said, a lot of these people, they say they're taking time off work to protest. I bet you a lot of them are calling in sick. I bet you a lot of their employers don't know what they're doing. But we're going to make sure everybody knows who they are. We're going to broadcast. They want to broadcast the ICE officer that was nearly killed all over the internet. We're going to broadcast every one of these people we arrest. This job and
ladies and gentlemen, that right there is what you should be extremely happy of. The fact that they are taking these people and putting them on a list. Sky God is all. Is it because I accidentally gave you cred for 2 sets of 20 Speak the Truth memberships, and you were like, well, if he's gonna just give me credit for that, I'm just gonna give him another one, and I'm just gonna flop it on down on the chat. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. And Orderly Chaos says, Matt, you're doing awesome. No, I appreciate you, man. Trying to keep it up with all this madness is out of control. Prepper says, given the current increase in the escalation going on in Minnesota, how long do you think before the opposition to ICE goes full kinetic with lethal force against agents before or after Trump uses Insurrection Act? I think that if Trump ends up stating he's going to use the Insurrection Act, you are going to see people lose their crap and go full-blown kinetic. However, if he ends up infilling them in slowly, or not slowly, just kind of like instantly, and announces it like as they're going in and the reports are coming out, like holds a press conference as the feds pour into the city, kind of dominate, like every time Trump takes the news, like and holds a press conference, people are like, what's he going to say next? If he does that, and as the feds are going in, I think they'll have a fairly good shot of gaining control really, really quick. The problem is it's going to leak out before that. I think that right now you have a very high probability with everything that's taken place, because there was the other ICE ramming incident that took place down in Texas yesterday that you guys were like, hey, did you hear about that? Yeah, I did. And it's freaking wild, man. And I know we're focused on Minneapolis and all that, but we can't forget that Texas is a thing too, man. Like they're just as ridiculous over there because stuff like this is going on. And I'll let this play out for just a sec as I finish answering a question. It could happen any day, man. These idiots could go full blown kinetic any day. I think that option currently exists.
Watch out in front of you. Watch out in front. Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Got a ramp. Cut it off. Cut it off. Now. Cut it off. Turn off the car. Cut the car. Cut off. Come out of the car. Come out of the car. Come out. Now.
All right, here with reaction, ICE direct.
I mean, for the love of God, man, like stop doing dumb things. Stop backing into other cars. Stop striking police vehicles, and maybe you won't get shot. Like that dude got lucky; he got off. Just blows my freaking mind, man. Just blows my mind that people do that. W Don't Know coming in, gifting out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Always last in line. Hell yeah, brother. Gifting out another Speak the Truth membership. Appreciate you. Thank you guys very much. And I'm sure the chat appreciates all you guys as well. Incog Faraday says, no volume denier here. I even like it when you forget to turn the volume back on. Dude, I hate it when I mute myself and I don't do it because like I'll go back and I'll watch it. It just looks so stupid and funny all at the same time, man. Gosh, you want to kick yourself in the nuts. John Doe, what's happening in Minnesota is 100 times worse than anything I saw on January 6th. Just saying. Yeah, and here's the thing. January 6th, you had people flooding in from all over the country that were coming in. Like, we know that, right? Like, a lot of the people on January 6th were, like, being flown across the country. There's some of them on private jets, might I add, but being flown in across the country, right? Over here in Minneapolis, it's just the city. And you do have streamers and stuff that are going there. You might have some people that are driving around from, like, neighboring states, but it's not that many. Like, what's happening in Minnesota is the locals. It is an entire population of morons. It is an entire population of left-wing freaking radicals. And that's what makes the Insurrection Act like so admissible here today, is that you do have so many people, as I just described earlier, of the situation that occurred last night and how it happened. November Charlie 1. The only way this madness stops is when we turn to Christ. Satan and his angels are infecting these people, and this is the end result. Had a conversation the other day with an elder at my church, and we were talking about this. And he asked me the question. He goes, Matt, do you ever think that the United States can get back to a Christian-based society or Christian-led society? Can we ever actually be a Christian nation again? Because we're both in agreement. It's just not. My answer is no. Not without a lot of problems coming our way. And I'll remind people, right? Like the Jesus of the Bible, the one and true God, when he came back, he said that he did not come to bring people together. He came to divide. Brother and sister, husbands and wives, sons, fathers. It's not going to be easy. Us to be a true Christian nation would mean that we would have to go and we would have to actually tell things like they are and actually tell the truth, like I do here when I say obey the law. You want an actual response. You want to actually know what's going to stop this stupid stuff from happening. You obey the law. That's what you do. It would take our politicians standing up and going, yeah, you have a First Amendment right. You got a right to protest. This isn't protesting. It's not. You got a freedom of religion. But when your religion teaches to kill Jews hiding behind rocks and trees, and that you're going to rule the planet, and that your radical flag needs to be flown over our nation, and you worship a pedophile, maybe, just maybe, we shouldn't be calling that a religion. Maybe. But unfortunately, I don't think we'll ever get to that point in our country. I don't. I really don't. And it's getting violent over there. This was a scene earlier tonight over outside the Minnesota facility. Cool, man. You're just going to go over and like hit a guy because he actually wants to see the laws enforced. Good job just whacking a guy in the face. Where's that freaking sucker punch? These idiots. Like, do these people know that they're a distraction for like all the fraud and stuff that's taking place? Like, maybe there's a reason why the mayor, and we got someone standing next to Ilhan Omar, it's over there busting in the back of cop vehicles, allegedly, right? Allegedly, the woman standing next to Ilhan Omar busting in the back of cop vehicles. Is there a reason for that? Like, think about it. To rile these people up and to tell them that, like literally just tell lies about what's taking place and push that stuff. AP Payne in the house, ladies and gentlemen, giving out 10 Speak the Truth memberships. Appreciate you, sir. And Rob's 2747 says, great diversion. Imagine that. Says, great diversion for the peeps involved in the fraud up there. I'm sure it will barely any news coverage now. Oh, no, it's getting it. Believe me, it's getting it. They have theirs that are coming as well. They are not getting away with this crap. Doug Reichert, what up, dude? Rock-a-Sans, baby, in the house. That's what I'm talking about. It's y'all guys coming up in here. Your screaming eagle butts. Robert Reardon coming in, giving out 5 Speak the Truth memberships. Thank you. Bob says, Nick Sorter better hurry up and have a speedy lawsuit before Mercado Media spends all of his money on bail and lawyers. Dude, it doesn't matter. They'll sue him to the point where like Nick and Cam are going to sue that dude to the point where whatever's put on the books while he's in jail is going to get taken. Like, that's how bad this guy jacked up, in my opinion. That's what I think's coming, man. Manuel Rivera says, I'm from Buffalo, New York. There's been ICE upticks here also with large refugee immigrant population. There's been daily ops. Demonstrators are getting more aggressive, and we might become the next focal point. Yeah, maybe we need to go back and start taking a look at New York and how that's been acting ever since old Mamdani ended up getting his butt up there. W Don't Know says, whoa, dude, thank you for that donation. He says, I look at the mainstream news as long as I could, not very long, and 90 to 50% of our coverage was excusing agitator violence. This feels worse than George Floyd. How do they not get it, or at least show the common sense perspective anymore? It's dangerous. Well, right. I mean, and thank you for bringing that up, man, because that's common sense perspective, you know? And it's not just them, dude. It's like the influencers on freaking social media as well. I ended up like showing this, you know, like that video clip I played earlier of the translated 911 call ended up getting put out by this knucklehead right here. And he says, breaking, ICE appears to be lying about the shooting incident that took place in Minneapolis last night. Here's the 911 call from the pregnant wife of the man who was shot. As ICE agents are trying to get into their home from outside, the wife tells local police dispatchers that her husband was shot as he was entering the house and a bullet went through the door. If, like ICE claimed this morning, they shot this man because he was beating them with a broom or a snow shovel, why would they be shooting him through the house door as he's running into his home? Media needs to get to this house ASAP and see if there's a bullet hole in the door like claimed here. Like, this freaking retard. Like, I get it, man. Hey, instead of saying that they're lying or appears that they're lying, no, let's start here. illegal immigrant that was fleeing from law enforcement, that was inside of the country illegally, gets shot in the leg for some reason and has his wife call 911. The common sense thing, like the devil you don't know just said, is that maybe, just maybe, his wife doesn't want to admit that her husband committed a damn felony on a recorded 911 call because they have the cops standing outside their freaking house with all of the lights on, and they're calling 911 trying to get the Minnesota PD over there to bail them out because the mayor and the police chief don't have the balls to tell it like it is, that they're being illegal and they're going to get arrested and they're going to go to jail whether they like it or not. And that is exactly what you're talking about, man. It drives me nuts. Vintage Blacklist says, how many of them do you think have their inner speech? Most people don't. 30% have constant. I wonder how many people on the left lack an inner voice. Dude, that is an excellent question. I would have to go with probably all of them. Maybe all of them. And if their inner voice is there, it's just repeating victim, 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 victim over and over and over. Rafe Severance says these agents are showing admirable restraint. If these lunatics started directing this insanity at conservative civilians, they're going to get a touch off the boogaloo. This crap needs to end now before it spirals out of control. 1,000%. 1,000%. Because there is conservatives and they will come out and they are not going to, I mean, people are going to get tired of this crap. It's just a fact. And you want to see how like out of control and stupid they're getting? Like, number one, let's talk about the Jersey barriers, like those concrete barriers that are like right on the ground outside the ICE facility that already have rest in peace good written on them. That ought to date this for you, along with FUCK for no apparent reason. And then a freaking chain link fence that ended up having to get put up, all because of these nut jobs going over and rioting at the freaking building. And then we have this car that just pulls up with a bunch of freaking 5-gallon water jugs in the back and just starts spilling water all over the road, trying to create an ice slick. This was earlier today. I showed you guys in the very beginning of this video, said watch, because this is what they're doing. Like I don't even want to hear them cheering and stuff, but like, this is how dumb they are. Like, this is literally how dumb they are. Somebody thought that was a good idea. And the feds are like letting this garbage happen. Just literally watching it happen. Somebody actually thought that was a good idea, that it would actually work on top of that. Bunch of morons. Like, feds are out like running across that thing all night long, by the way. Twins Mama says, notice this shift from last night got. They didn't plan on what happened last night. They got infiltrated, so they had warned protectors to be peaceful tonight. Imagine that. Imagine that. That doesn't surprise me one tiny bit. Yeah. Viper says, my fear with the Insurrection Act is we still have crazy governors all over the states that are on the verge. Look at what New Jersey just passed today. I guess it will be a long reconstruction to fix this mess. And this is what I've been trying to tell, all of the diehard Trump supporters, that I again, exercise some common sense. Like, you got to understand the liberal policies. Like, you're looking at like 12 years of liberal policies with a 4-year break in between. 4-year break. That's it. 4-year break. Now, out of those 12 years, how many nut jobs do you think advanced to different levels of our government, to different levels of our institutions, to different levels of the FBI, the intelligence community, the military, the Pentagon? How many? And how long do you think it's going to take to get them out of there? Everybody is like just dreaming if they think all this is going to be done in 4 years. And you're absolutely right. Like that comment about like New Jersey, all of that crap. That's why the Insurrection Act needs to fly across the board. Talking about idiots like Gavin Newsom, governor over inside of Oregon, that whole freaking police bureau, like all of those idiots all need rounded up as soon as that thing hits. Like, they need to just surge, baby. Surge. Military's eager. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not. Manuel River says some of the suburb areas have even held public council meetings based on the public's outcry about local governments cooperating with federal agents. And they can suck it. You know what they can do? Like, I'm perfectly okay with them having city council meetings on it and listening to their constituents. That's what they're supposed to do. But they're also supposed to go, well, legally, what can we do? Legally, what can you do? If you don't like the law, you can vote in the proper representation, which you get the chance to do every 2 years. And if you lose, don't go around crying like a little baby that illegal aliens are getting yanked out of this country. It's that simple, man. The state, the city, the local council, nobody can pass freaking laws They're going to go directly against the Constitution that are actually going to get enforced. You can't do it. You can't pass a law in the state of Minnesota, Michigan, California, Oregon, Washington, New Jersey, New York, Virginia. Doesn't matter. You can't pass a law that says we're going to fight against the federal government. We're going to, not cooperate while taking all, you can't do that. It's not going to work out good for you. It's just not. They can play their little games all that they want, but at the end of the day, they're dead in the right's wrong. They're quick to whine and complain about their freaking First Amendment right to stand out here and protest, right? Like, they're quick to whine and complain about their right here to do this, to protest, which this isn't a legal protest, by the way. To whine and complain about their right to legal protest, but at the same time get pissed off when people show up at cell phones and show their faces or document them ripping rifles out of the back of vehicles, burning buildings to the ground, or arresting illegal aliens. How about everybody else's right in Minnesota to be secure in their own peace and property against assault and rapes and etc. from illegal aliens that just don't want them here because legally they have no right to be here? How about those people and their rights? They don't give two craps about anybody else's rights unless it benefits them and their illegal agenda, and they can use it as a security blanket to try to claim that other people, including the feds, are violating theirs. And I think myself and everybody else is getting sick and freaking tired of hearing them whine and complain about it. They're calling these guys Nazis. The guys in uniform that have to allow people to come back in, that are doing their absolute best to obey the law while doing their job, while these idiots are breaking the law, demanding that the other people do theirs to perfection while faced with a crowd of retards. It's absurd. D. Rackarock says, we designate this jihad by the Ummah for clarity. I think we could designate this a jihad. Yeah. I mean, it's not a holy war because I don't think a single one of these people have a drop of religion in their body. So maybe we couldn't call it a jihad. But I mean, maybe in the pagan rite of jihadists, I'm sure you got a lot of pagans out there. I'm sure you got a lot of retards, for lack of better terms. So, I mean, might be able to get away with it in that way, I would assume. I don't know, man. Give it a try. One of you guys was even pointing out, you want to talk about them being dumb. Cam put this video out earlier. There's a bunch of people shaking, trying to take the fence down. Now, why would anybody want to do that? It's a peaceful protest, isn't it? Look at them trying to rip off the expedited chain link fence because these idiots are over there anyways. That's destruction of federal property. Don't want to talk about it though. And why rip that down when that guy clearly can just walk through the lock gate? The thing is these people don't want to do ish. They just want to be loud and break stuff. And they're likely getting paid in order to do it. That guy walked right around the gate. Did anybody else see that? Was I the only one that saw this in the beginning? I could have been the only one. Look, wait for it. Can't do the noise sometimes. Look, the hell are you trying to rip the freaking fence down for when there's a hole? Why aren't you just going through there and getting your butt arrested? Why don't you go take one for the team, die for the cause, do whatever it is that you feel the need to do? So either these people are as retarded as I say, or they don't have the balls to actually carry through with what they want, but they're willing to rip the fence down. Don't go through the hole, though. Don't go through the hole that man just clearly demonstrated you could walk through. That reminds me of the Robin Hood Men in Tights movie where he's like, I'm on the right side, I'm on the left side, I'm on the east bank, I'm on the west bank. And he's jumping back and forth across. The guy's like, I'm drowning. That is what, I mean, the Little John, when he falls in the river and he starts screaming about drowning, is the exact personification of each and every one of these retards. Each and every single one of them. And if you don't believe me, watch this next video as they cry wolf. Did you hear that? I'm a woman, and I'm already better than you because of that. How does it feel?
Shorter than me. I'm a woman and I already know I'm better than you because of that.
Who thinks that's a woman? Let's take a poll real quick while we're over here trolling on retards. Let's end that poll because I think everybody knows the rightful actions out of the 1.6 thousand of you guys that came in, the 94% of you. Let's just run a quick poll. Determine the gender of this person. I'm just curious. I'm just gonna put it over here. Male or female? And for those of you that might be like common sense short up in the head, male would be those with penises and female would be those with vaginas. Just throwing that out there. Soul3581 says these riders don't even have the balls to fight real evil. You are correct. They don't. Mark Weston coming in, gifting out. Or no, I'm sorry, dude, becoming a freaking true supporter. Thank you very much, sir. But yeah, who thinks it? Go ahead, vote real quick. It is a quick vote, just for fun.
How does it feel, you piece of shit, to be shorter than me? I'm a woman and I already know I'm better than you because of that. You too. Back off. Back off. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck every last one of you. Get the fuck out of our city. Do this. Yeah, take it.
How many years? Cosplay motherfuckers! You cosplay motherfuckers!
That's a trick question. They're all females. So any retard that ended up voting male, you're wrong. There is not a drop of testosterone in that entire crowd. Not a drop of testosterone. I kid, but I'm pretty sure that person was a biological male, of course. I think we all know that. For the love of, oh my Lord, dude, these people just drive me up a freaking wall. Just up it. Like, you ever just like, Soul says these riders don't have the balls to fight real evil. You're correct. Not a single one of them does. And then when they tell you that you don't have the balls to fight real evil and you tell them all of the great things that you've done, they'll sit around and be like, well, I mean, you're following orders of a pedophile. I can't believe you would do such a thing. This is why they end up pushing them out of that street, by the way. Let's see here. Abby Asman says, Minnesota, nice is dead. Yeah, I would agree with that. Don't be nice in Minnesota because you'll end up dead. You got to be kind of a jerk to them. Now, I have to just mute it because there's only so much of that crap I can take, I think, as a lot of you guys have. This was a couple hours ago over outside of there, and this is why, you know, if I was to pull up that live stream and go back like an hour and a half, there's actually a huge showing of the police that were over there at the front gate that ended up pushing all of these knuckleheads back. So this is, I mean, this is literally the state of where we're at. This is what they do. Video being brought to you on that one by Borderhawk. That, ladies and gentlemen, is kind of your update for the stupidity of the day. Not gonna lie, I had a family situation a little bit earlier that ended up going on, so I didn't prepare as much. I have been keeping up with the situation over inside of Iran. Looks like some more videos have made their way out. The people are back protesting in the streets. And yes, still complaints about people dying and everything going on over there. That situation with Iran is going to take some time. I say we got about another 72 hours, which is me telling you guys and warning you that about 72 hours, maybe make sure that you have a backup way of communication with your family, because the other day, as we saw, when the U.S. was getting ready to bomb Iran, which, by the way, Trump called off at the very last minute, we ended up having a freaking cyber attack over here in the United States of America where everybody's phones ended up going down. If you don't think that Russian, Chinese, and Iranian disinformation online promoting different left-wing accounts to cause further dissent in America to take attention off that isn't happening, you're dead wrong. Stockmark says people you can't drink a beer with. Yeah, no, nor do they drink beer. I don't think they drink beer. If they do, it might be an IPA. I don't know. Jack Ray says these lefties are silent on the mass murder of civilians in Iran. Yeah, exactly. Right. If 30,000 people were killed in Gaza over the weekend, they would be losing their crap. If 30,000 people were killed in Gaza over the weekend, they wouldn't be losing it on ICE agents. They wouldn't be doing anything, man. There would be freaking like Palestinian flags all over the dang place. They'd be just absolutely snapping and losing it. Now, I am a little bit shocked because Trump did come out and announce that the next phase for the operations in Gaza are about to get kicked off. Yeah, if your phone wasn't affected, it's likely because you don't use Verizon or AT&T and you don't live near a major strategic military installation. That's the other big catch there. We ended up seeing it over in Tampa. We ended up seeing it happen in Colorado. We ended up seeing it happen outside of Bragg in New York, Jersey, Virginia, places like that is where all of the major outages went and took place. We also saw some up over in the Northwest as well in Portland and Washington. And it happens to be the same place that we saw the outages about 2 years ago in June of 2024. Well, maybe not 2 years, 18 months or so ago. And by the way, it's said that China ended up launching that attack. So if for some reason you guys are I don't know, just be cautious, man. Because my next concern, because they have been recruiting these jihadists and stuff like that back over here in the States, they have been recruiting transgenders online. All of this stuff is open source. You're more than welcome to go look it up. If you think I'm doubting it for a reason, it's not my fault. It doesn't hit mainstream media, but I'm doing my best to bring you guys that news. But my concern is that as that stuff's going on, they're going to shut the phone lines down to cause confusion. And then they're going to end up having these trainees go around and start shooting people. Tom Bone says, my phone glitched out here and I live near Pensacola, Ness. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Spectrum is a big provider here at MacDill. No outages on mine. Like I said, you know, you're looking at Verizon and AT&T are the two big ones that ended up getting smashed, man. Verizon and AT&T. And that has to do with like the different components and stuff that ended up going to the software system because God forbid we depend on American engineering, American anything. We outsourced everything. So it is where it is. Yeah, I didn't even notice that my spam calls and everything were just completely and totally cut off for a day. It's absolutely nuts. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you guys to stay safe out there. I really do. I demand that you guys stay safe out there. I demand that you guys take care of one another. I demand that you guys go sit down, pray, man. Just pray for peace. Pray for some common sense to be brought to people like this that are up on the screen because it's not going to get any better, man. It's not. These people are going to keep being morons and there's nothing we can do about it. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. Peace, love, happiness. I appreciate everybody that came in here tonight. I really do. And again, I apologize for a later stream than what we normally do, but had a great show tonight. I appreciate every single one of you. Peace, love, happiness. God bless. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here.
Hey, listen, I'll tell y'all now, they on the Snapchat, so they gonna be on y'all ass if y'all recording this. They gonna be on your ass. They gonna be on your ass. Your ass is a witness. Hey, don't hit them.